Hey guys, welcome back to Biblical Breakdowns. Today we're going to be talking about why did Jesus say, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This is one of the most intense moments in all of Scripture. Matthew 27, verse 46, "And about the ninth hour Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" At first glance, this sounds like Jesus is saying God abandoned him. But is that really what's happening? Let's break it down. This line isn't random. It's the first verse of Psalm 22, a prophecy about the suffering of the Messiah. Psalm 22, verse 1, my God, why have you forsaken me? Far from my help are the words of my groaning." If you read the whole psalm, it describes details of Jesus' crucifixion hundreds of years before it happened. "They pierced my hands and feet," in verse 16. "They divide my garments among them, and they cast lots for my clothing," verse 18. By quoting the psalm, Jesus wasn't saying God actually abandoned him. He was pointing people to the prophecy being fulfilled right in front of them. Jesus had always been one with the Father, but on the cross, something unique happened. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21, "He made him who knew no sin to be sin on our behalf, so that we might become the righteousness of God in him." Jesus took on the sin of the world. And because sin separates us from God, Jesus experienced that separation. Not because he had sinned, but because he was carrying ours. It's like for the first time in eternity, Jesus felt the weight of being cut off from the Father's presence, so we wouldn't have to be. So what does this mean for us? Jesus understands our suffering. If you ever felt abandoned by God, Jesus has been there. He took on the punishment we deserved. Our sin separates us from God, but Jesus took that separation upon himself. It was always part of the plan. Jesus wasn't truly abandoned. He knew Psalm 22 ends in victory. Looking at Psalm 22, verse 24, "For he has not despised nor scorned the suffering of the afflicted, nor has he hidden his face from him. But when he cried to him for help, he heard." Jesus' cry wasn't despair. It was a declaration. This is the moment prophecy is being fulfilled. The bottom line, Jesus wasn't actually abandoned by God. He was quoting Psalm 22, pointing to prophecy. He felt separation because he took on our sin. And now his suffering means we never have to be separated from God. It wasn't a cry of hopelessness, it was a cry of fulfillment. Thanks for listening to Biblical Breakdowns, and if you're enjoying, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. See you guys in the next episode.